Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for To Your Eternity, chapter 152. When we last left our heroes, Fushi and the Occult Research Club made their way through the tunnels, and with a bit of help, specifically, presumably from Fen and Nixon communicating via Ouija board, were able to find their way to the sort of underground chapel where Mizuha is residing. However, Fushi realized that it was guarded by two doors with knockers in them. And so he told the rest of the club to go home, it's not safe for them, and he goes to meet Mizuha himself. He takes out the knockers pretty fast, and he opens the doors, walks into the main room, and Mizuha's grandpa welcomes him. And then I think the final shot we see is of Mizuha just sitting at the end of this long carpet. So yeah, that's where we left off. Let's jump right on into chapter 152, Something Grotesque, Part 1. We open with Tonari. Because you'll recall at the start of, I think the second part of 151, maybe it was the third, Fushi asked Tonari to check on his spare body in the janitor's room. So we see Tonari in the teacher's hall. Huh? You want the key to the janitor's room? Yes, I need to return some cleaning products. She's not great at this lie, is she? But the teacher seems to buy it. Would you mind dropping off that empty can of kerosene too? And Tonari is not pleased with that. But she does so. She sort of goes to the janitor's room, carrying it, singing, what a pain in the ass. She opens the room and she finds the janitor's closet. I remember the room looking much more like a closet when we saw Fushi's spare body in there. This looks almost like maybe an art room, maybe? Maybe it is. No, we see a broom, though. That might be a very spacious and, window janitor's closet. There's also a tea set. This doesn't feel like a closet to me. I don't know. But we see that is where his body is. She sees his feet out from the other side of a curtain. Just not terribly hidden, as Tonari criticizes him for. His spare body isn't hidden at all. Yeesh, someone always has to watch out for that boy. And she grabs some cushions or something to cover up his feet. But then his body starts to sort of wobble. Yikes! And falls onto her, along with a whole collection of weapons he's also hiding back there. Alright, there is absolutely no subtlety here whatsoever. And Tonari picks one up. Oh, I remember these. This is one of those bows we used. Is that a bow from Renril, maybe? Because the particularity of we makes me think she's talking about it as a group, which must have been when she was revived in Renril. Anyway, she quickly gets to the larger problem. Wait, what's with all these weapons? And she looks at them, and then she sort of thinks, I wonder where in the world he is and what he's doing. And with that, we come back underground as we see new knockers spawn in the knocker door. Or maybe a new knocker just replace the old one, I guess. I'm not quite sure. As Fushi sits down at a long table with him on one side and Mizuha and the Izumi knocker on the other. And Mizuha's grandpa puts down some kind of food and tells Fushi, here you are, help yourself to these. And the Izumi knocker tells Mizuha, come on, Mizuha, Fushi-san came to visit. And Fushi just presents the photo album. I know it's late, but I'm here to give you this birthday present. I guess we're going to work out what exactly went on with the falling picture here. And Grandpa hands it to Izumi. Oh, it's an album? And she whispers down to Mizuha, who's suspiciously quiet here. She's not talking. She's just sort of lying there. I'm not quite sure what the deal is there. I'm trying to maybe piece this together with the sewing up Fushi scene from 151.25, I think. I don't know. Anyway, huh? You don't want it? So, again, we don't even really see, we don't have any sense of Mizuha answering besides just what Izumi is saying. And Izumi tells Fushi, I'm sorry, she's been so selfish lately. Then what do you want, Mizuha? And Mizuha, jumps up, like, her hand jumps up and grabs some of the food, I think, and then brings it back down and eats. And Izumi then just sort of says, you want a Fushi-san? Gosh, this girl. Okay, so here's the question. I'm less and less convinced that Mizuha's actually talking here. Something about this doesn't quite seem right. I don't know. But also, we do know that Mizuha does want Fushi. Anyway, Fushi tells her, there's no real Fushi, Mizuha. What's here now is just the body of someone I met in the past. You actually want that? Okay, I feel like I'm taking several steps back with Fushi here. There's no real Fushi. Okay, get some self-love, Fushi. You need some self-love, I think. I don't know, I'm trying to find a moment that panel speaks back to. The closest that comes to mind is, I think, around 142 or so, maybe, when Sadaru sort of questioned, did you ask the boy whose body you're in if he was okay with his body being used or something? And maybe that sort of has driven Fushi back like this? I don't know. There's something going on with Fushi, though. And Mizuha finally speaks. You're real. You're right here. You're talking with me right now. And Fushi counters, hey, Knocker, you're the one keeping Mizuha here, right? And Mizuha spits something out. It might be the food she ate, but it looks suspiciously like a finger. I'm not sure what that food was supposed to be anyway. It was just sort of put down, and it doesn't look like any food I'd recognize. I don't know what's going on there. Either way, she picks up her glass of water, again, finally speaking, and takes a sip. And we see she's not so great at drinking. The water, it's clearly the Guardian Knocker, of course. But we see, like, the water dripping all down her chin, down her neck, into her collar. But Fushi presses. Is that how you really feel, Mizuha? What do you really think? Everyone wants you to come back, and so do I. And the Guardian Knocker presses, pretending to be Mizuha here. Then if I died, would you cry for me? And Fushi just tells her, yes. Liar, you know you've never cried. And Fushi sort of is that true? Has Fushi really never, I haven't really paid attention to that, but it might be true, might be a lie. Fushi protests, I have so. I've totally cried. You mean that time you turned into a turtle? That's not like human crying. I think it kind of is, though. I think that's, like, I don't really see, for Fushi specifically, I don't quite know what the difference is there. I can't trust you anyway, Fushi. No matter what you say, it doesn't ring true. Just look, and we see the rope attached to Fushi's wrist. You've arranged so you can escape anytime you want. And we see the rope sort of extends out of the room. He has set up his getaway plan. And so Fushi takes off the rope. And Mizuha acknowledges that. And we just end there. Yeah, I don't know. This feels like one of those chapters that really feels like, sometimes the way To Your Eternity is split. Each individual chapter part feels like its own chapter, even if it's only 10, 12 pages or so. This doesn't. This feels like it's 8 pages of a chapter, and then we just sort of stopped. I don't know why. I don't know what the choice there is, but it does feel much more like, either Oima ran out of time for the other 4 pages of the normal chapter. I don't want to assume anything, but maybe. Or it just feels like an arbitrary stop point. She wrote 8 pages. No attempt to make this a full, complete chapter, and just sort of stopped after 8 pages. I don't know. Let's start, though, with our retrospective section with Tonari. Because she's just kind of here, as far as I can tell. And Tonari, as I recall, just like the other Immortals, does not know about the return of the Knockers. And I've been thinking, constantly, over and over again, this is going to be the point where Fushi has to reveal the Knockers to his friends. And I think it might be the opposite here. I think Tonari might find out, but not from Fushi. I think she might start doing some investigating, especially if like Yuki and the gang went back to class after this. Then maybe Tonari will find them, work out where Fushi is, especially if Hana and Senba and Tamaki don't know that Fushi is keeping this secret from Tonari. They might just drop it on her. And then Tonari, this might be like foreshadowing Tonari coming down to the chapel very, very soon. But then we have this scene with Mizuha, and it's filled with all these weird things. You know, for a long time, Mizuha doesn't talk. And at first I assumed that she wasn't talking, that it was Izumi, the Izumi knocker sort of making Mizuha say what she wanted. And then there's that weird, the stuff with the food is just weird. I can't make heads or tails of any of that. And then Mizuha starts talking, so I wonder why that whole segment is going on, where Izumi is just speaking for Mizuha. I don't know. We spent all this time focusing on how bad at eating the Guardian Knocker is. I don't know. There's just a whole lot here. I'm not quite sure where really any of it is going. I just don't know. Ever since 151 started, I've just been like, I have no idea what's going on right now. I have no idea where we're going with any of this. I'm assuming we're going somewhere. You know, Oima tends to have a plan that works out very well. But I just don't know what that looks like right now. Like, I have no idea where we're going with any of this. But Fushi has left himself open. You know, he's taken off the rope. He's here. He can't get out easy. And so now maybe that conversation, maybe this conversation will be a bit more honest now that Fushi's kind of stuck here, maybe? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know where any of this is going, but I can't wait to find out. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you'll enjoy the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. You know, do whatever makes it happy, you know? And as always, your life is your own, okay? Bye!